Pink ladies, T-birds, just happen to be watchers of my My name is Jimmi Pynk, and I don't even know if I should be doing Canada, considering the fact it's about to be in America like 3 weeks behind. Bad time pop. Roll it, roll it. So thank you for joining me again. My name is Jimmi Pynk. I'm sorry I'm a little late with this. I have really fallen under the weather. Pretty sure I probably went back to work too early, like I have like the last 3 times. But we're trying to resolve that, blood work and COVID test and all that good fun stuff. But while I got this little bit of energy, let me finally go ahead and catch up on Canada's Drag Race Season 1, Episode 2. Or try to. The struggle is real. Yes, I'm back again in my red and white for Canada, but also representing my House of Grease in my Rydell High School t-shirt. Yes, honey. And if I wasn't going to get blood work, y'all wouldn't have got this much. So, let's get into it. Of course, Juice Box is gone. Lemon is a little broken up about it, but she won. She was like, hey, I'm up in here. What's up? Khan really thought she was going to win the challenge, and all the girls laughed at her, and that was hilarious to me. Because I was like, bitch, where? No. And bitch, where this episode, too. If you're new to the channel, I jump around like House of Pain. I just rewatched the episode. Listen, I'm going to go to the runway first. Because why did it take for Canada's Drag Race for us to get this challenge? Now, I think we've gotten it before, but it was like, oh, we don't know if this is our first time in drag. It was like, Canada's Drag Race did it right. This was so good. I think they did something like this before on regular Drag Race, but then they like never revisited it. This is a great challenge. This should be like a staple of Canada's Drag Race. Really well done. So, let me get to this runway. Remember what I said in the runway when I get to the judging, because again, Canada's Drag Race, your judging is real iffy, bro. Real iffy. So, Lemon, first time in drag. I don't think her name was Lemon, because no yellow, right? But she has this stunning Wedgwood blue gown, and she is dripping in jewels and rhinestones, and the lace front is unclockable, and that rhinestone shoe, that clear rhinestone shoe was everything. And she was working it on the runway, and because she was in the bottom last week, this was the upgrade she needed. Definitely an elevated version of the look she had before. I just wish, because thus far she has been giving us a little yellow in every outfit, even though it wouldn't have been an exact replica, because the dress wasn't an exact replica anyway, by any means, was it? It was just the same color with the same color hair and rhinestone accessories. I almost wish that the inside of the dress would have been light yellow. Oh, just to give us that a lemon flair. But I ain't mad at it. Or like, ooh, what if the inside of it would have been like a beautiful, like, fabric that was like a Wedgwood blue and yellow, like silk or satin lining on the inside. That would have just given me life. But I did love her look. She looked stunning. It was what we needed to see. She looked absolutely gorgeous. And that color for me, we don't see it a lot. We don't see that Wedgwood blue. We'll see some. We don't even see it in denim that much anymore. But for her to have like this, which I know exactly what you had, You had a velvet dress that came from Forever 21 or whatever the hell y'all got in Canada. That was on clearance somewhere, and that was the weird color they had. And then you went and found some fabric that color, but the color looked stunning with the rhinestones and the blonde hair and her skin tone. It really did. The color looked stunning. Great job. Rita Baga. I literally wrote, I don't love it, but I get the interpretation. Okay, so your first time in drag, you had on a swimsuit where you had some cheap dollar store sunflowers added to it and an ugly blonde wig. So you came back with an ugly blonde wig and flowers stuck on it from the Hobby Lobby instead of the dollar store. I would have much rather this have been really an interpretation where it would have been sunflower fabric as opposed to these giant sunflowers stuck to your shoulder. It was basic. The sunflowers being stuck to it was a little artsy and crafty, especially because these giant ones were one type and then these little ones that were at the top of the hips were different. And then you have these beautiful Swarovski crystals in yellow and clear. I did like the performance. Having a hard time breathing. I did like how she was like turning towards the sun like sunflowers do. But it was a decent interpretation of her first time in drag. I just didn't love the look. I ain't mad at it though. Jimmi Pynk. Okay, I got a problem with the judging. Hold on. Blow the whistle. Because I have a problem with this judging. She looked like Knights of the Round Table. So the fuck what? It's drag. Y'all do allusions to other stuff all the time. So what? It looked like Knights of the Round Table. So what? Her first time in drag was a little gray turtleneck dress with a fishnet thigh high with a side pony. So what she brought to you was a gray dress with a fishnet. Instead of it being a thigh high, it had the rhinestones on it and being the stirrup type, with something that not only was a turtleneck but covered the whole head with a wide belt, because the original look was a wide belt. It was literally an interpretation of her look elevated. I told you I'm about to jump around like House of Pain. I ain't going to go all the way into it, but y'all was mad at that and said, oh, she wasn't cinched enough. Oh, she looked like a Knight at a Round Table. You didn't like it, but bows was okay. I'm going to get the bow in order. I didn't mind Jimmi's. And when I'm looking at the category is, clearly somebody, one of my viewers told me I do it like it's the ballroom. And maybe I do. Because I was like, the category is reinterpret your first time in drag. That's what she did. I'm going to elevate it a bit. Instead of it being a turtleneck, now it's a whole head piece, still giving you the side pony, still giving you the gray dress with the black belt, still giving you the fishnet where you could see some of my skin, and just everything elevated. I didn't see the problem. Kiara giving me goat up in my teeth. Giving me the same dress. Bitch, you did this. Okay, listen. But I'm not mad at it because it was reinterpret your first time in drag. I'm not mad that you have on the same dress and a more expensive fabric. I'm not mad at that. Category was reinterpret your first time in drag. She said, I have this gold Naomi Smalls dripping nothing kind of dress on with a choker and long blonde hair. So what I'm going to give you is this gold dress that's the same shape and a choker with long blonde hair and just everything elevated. Like this was me shopping at Rainbow or City Trends or whatever the cheap store y'all got in y'all area. And now this is me getting it from It's a Versace. I had the Forever 21 knockoff. Now I can afford It's the Versace. Interpret your first drag look. Can I really be that mad that she legitimately did the same dress when she still has the same body to wear it? Just in a more expensive fabric? Would I have liked it to been a little bit more to it than that? Yeah, but she did the challenge. More on that in a few as well. First of all, Anastasia. Bitch, your first time in drag, you snatched a trophy? I call lies. Wait, you snatched a trophy your first time in drag? Because this is the look that you gave us. And I enjoyed the reinterpretation. Was it a lot? Was the jewels a lot? Was it a lot? Yes, but pageant girl drag, it was a lot. It was elevated. It was the challenge. Your first time in drag reinterpreted. Even the fact that the dress had the black and white stripes, it was giving me very... It was giving me very the Widow Von Du's Black Power dress. I was here for it, and that necklace was everything, even though it was a bit much with the one shoulder dress because it already had jewels on it. It was a bit much, but that neck piece was insane. I just wish, because in your first time in drag picture you had a sash and a crown, and you are the reigning Miss Continental. Bitch, floss, stun on these hoes. The picture of you in the first time in drag, you had on a sash and a crown. Stunt on these hoes. And you should have had on your Miss Black Continental crown and sash, bitch, on it. I just wish she would have stunted on these hoes just a little bit. Just came through dripping. Drip, drip. Came through dripping. I just wanted her to stun on those. Because her before picture, she did have on a sash and a crown. Stun on these bitches. You clearly knew that's what picture you were going to use. Stun on these hoes. But I digress. Bitch on arrival. Y'all was not living for this for real, was y'all? Y'all were not living for this. Y'all were not living for this all like that when you were reading some of these other girls on this stage. No, the fuck you were not. You were living for this? You were living for a fucking bodysuit? You were living for a bodysuit? You were living for a corseted bodysuit? You were living for a corset and a bodysuit? You were living for a corset and a panty? You were living for a stone corset with no titties? Y'all was living for this? For real? Now, I don't know much about Canadian drag, but I know this. The reinterpretation was of her with just a bra and panties on. And I get it. She gained weight, so she just had on undergarments again. Bitch, y'all were living for this like this was everything. I was like, this is a stone corset bodysuit. Girl, safe. This is okay. Just go ahead and say it. You want that drama. You want that drama, and you want bitch on arrival to make it to like the top 4 or 5, whatever, because you want some drama. Because ain't no way for the second week in a row y'all are giving her passes like this. There is no way. Did she look beautiful? 100%. She passed for the gods. The face was right. The wig was unclockable. She looked pretty. But for RuPaul's Drag Race, like y'all went goo goo gaga over a corseted rhinestone bodysuit compared to what everybody else brought on the goddamn stage? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Speaking of, kind. Hold on. See, this is why I do this shit with cigarettes and beer, because I need a cigarette for this, so let me just pretend. No, you did not, Miss Kind. Miss Kind. Miss Kind. Miss Kind. Miss Kind. Miss Kind. So your first time in drag was Halloween. Nothing new. You did Ursula the Sea Witch. Doing a Disney villain. Shocker. So your first time in drag, you did Ursula the Sea Witch. And you decided to do Purple Rizzo from Greece? Ma'am, ma'am, where was the sickening black gown? Ursula wears a dress. Ma'am, ma'am, what was that boy jacket with just a panty and a thigh-high boot? With your real skin showing in the back? Ma'am. What was that wig that it was, the dark root was as long as my dark root? What are you doing? That was not an upgrade. That was not an upgrade. You didn't have time to make a black dress, huh? You could have just made that same dress and went and made that bitch out of more expensive fabric like Kiara did, and your ass probably would have still been here. You could have just went to Primrose or whatever y'all got in Canada, you're small enough, and went and got you a black corset, sprayed that bitch with some black, with some glitter, went and got you a belt with a rhinestone brooch on it or something, and made a black leather circle skirt or one with a train, or used the same skirt and put rhinestones on it, or any damn thing besides what you did, which was a jacket, a corset. I don't understand how you got from Ursula the Sea Witch to I'm gonna do a cross between Grease and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't get it. And if you didn't want to do nothing, or you didn't want to paint none of your body purple, bitch, you sew. Go get you some black fabric and make the dress a black turtleneck dress then. Out of some sickening black fabric. And give it some dramatic arms and a dramatic train and call it a damn day. I don't understand. I don't. But Miss Priyanka, with your slow ass walk, eat it up. Eat it up. Fuck it up, Priyanka. Fuck it up. Love the look. I felt like this was a little bit detached from what her original look was, though. I think hers was the most detached from what her original look was. I didn't think that the skirt had enough white on it, because the white was like really major in the original outfit with like the Stevie Nicks look, copy, whatever. And just that little bit in the skirt, which otherwise, if it wasn't a recreation of this look, would have looked stupid that you just had this one white panel right there. You went from having a hat to it really just being a big fascinator. Like the look a lot. You can't go wrong with black patent leather. Like the look a lot. Like the walk. Just thought it was a little bit far off for interpretation of what your first look in drag was. I would have even taken that skirt, went all the way down like that. This is what I would have taken. I would have took the skirt, and you was walking that slow anyway, so you could have did it. If that skirt would have been made the exact same way, and once it got to the knee, it then became mermaid, and all of that was white. To match the white that was underneath the lace-up part, and white at the bottom to match the white skirt at the bottom that was flowing, and made that like a long mermaid from that point, white. I would have accepted it, but that little sliver of white, no ma'am, that was way too far off from your original outfit to me. Scarlet Bubble had the glow up out of everybody's look to me. I said this bitch really had on the drag as a teenager starter kit. She just had on a slutty cheap outfit, like, let me get this good black circle skirt and this good black crop top. Forever 21. I'm gonna keep calling out Forever 21 and the rave and the G&G and of it all, because nobody's first look in drag was giving me not even Fashion Nova, so I gotta take it to you real cheap. Forever 21 and all that, whatever they got in Canada. But this was such a clever interpretation of her original look. First of all, the original look had like the ladder straps. So in this one, it was zippers that opened that still gave you the same illusion. She still had like the A-line circle skirt style But in the black patent leather, she added some accessoires. The hair was like that brownish red, so she gave you a wig that was like an elevated version of it. And then this bitch came out and was eating fire. Listen, Scarlet Bubble, you did that, ma'am. You did that. You did that. You did that. I was here for it. Ilona Burley. It was a very literal reinterpretation, kind of like Kiara did. It was very literal. It was, hey, I had on this Rocky Horror shirt that had lips and eyes on it, and this black wig that was poofy and poofy bangs that looked like Lucy from Charlie Brown and them. So I literally went and got the same wig that don't even fit on my head because my head is shaved all the way up to here and I can still see your light blue hair underneath it. And it's a jacket and this shirt and these boy shorts, and it was such a literal reinterpretation. But again, because that was the challenge, I don't mind it being such a literal interpretation because it was a glow up. And it was an interpretation the first time in drag. I just wish, because this is an interpretation, the platform shoe was a little bit too short. Wish the platform would at least been like, if it's going to be platform and not a heel, at least make it a platform. Like, I mean, but other than that, I mean, you just dragged it up. Your makeup's better. It was a better wig. Not by much. And it was just more glittery, more sparkly, more for the stage, more drag. And it shined beautifully on stage. I'm not mad at anybody that said an interpretation of their original drag look and really took it that literally. I'm not mad at. Because somebody that took it quite literally was Jimbo. And let me tell you something. For the second week in a row, my namesake Jimbo out here getting motherfucking robbed. Do you hear me? My namesake Jimbo is out here getting robbed. Listen. Another drag queen's born on Halloween. Zombie cheerleader. As an old former cheerleading bitch myself, as a zombie, to rip your ponytails out so that you could have pom-poms was the most gangster shit I'd never seen in all my life. Slow clap of the episode right there. That was the most gangster shit I ever seen in my life. And it was so clever because as a cheerleader, your pom-poms are everything, child. And you a zombie and you don't have none, but you got your hair in two ponytails and your shit is falling out anyway, and you just rip them out and start using your ponytails as pom-poms. Bitch, that was some elite shit right there. That was some elite shit right there. And it was so elevated from the original look, and she really took it to task by getting a cheerleading uniform even in the same colors of the red and blue. She even still had the one sock. I believe she had on the exact same boots, if not in the same style, the same red hair. She really took a very little interpretation, but just cranked that bitch up to 11. And I lived. I absolutely lived for it. So now that we did this runway, let's talk about this challenge and the Muffer dress versus the burnt tux, right? I have a problem with this judging because I don't think Lemon should have won. I see that you're not going to do it so much with the editing. You're going to do it with the judging for the rigmaroles in the production. I don't think Lemon should have won. I thought Lemon did a phenomenal job and definitely leaps and bounds better than she did last week, even though, if y'all remember, I didn't think she should have been in the bottom last week. Here's my problem with the judging. So I've gone over everybody's runway, y'all. I've literally heard me do the critiques of everybody's runway. And with the exception of honestly, Kind and Ilona, I think I gave everybody else pretty good critiques. So, how does this weigh? Is it 50-50? Is it 25-75? Is it the challenge? And then if you're down to like maybe 3 people did really good in the acting challenge, then we have to look at their looks. Because if that's what we're doing, Jimbo should have won. Now, to be fair, this is Canada's Drag Race. So what they're doing, this Heritage Moments, is a play on Heritage Moments, which is kind of like our Schoolhouse Rock over here in the U.S. These old commercials that they used to do to kind of teach you things about history in the country when you're a kid. I don't know what kind of acting they do on those. Schoolhouse Rock was animated here, you dig? I don't know what, how do I want to put this? I don't know how different Canadian TV is from American TV, because if you watch children's television in America, a lot of it is Canadian. Like a lot of it is Canadian, like a whole lot, especially if you are a girl of a certain age like I am. Like the majority of Nickelodeon shows before they started making their own were Canadian shows. A lot of Cartoon Network's animated series are Canadian. Hell, I just watched a marathon of Clone High last night, didn't even realize that was Canadian, even though how the fuck didn't I? And I was grown when Clone High came out. So I say that to say this. I know what our children's network acting is like. Degrassi, all that. When I said a lot of America's children's television is Canadian, I meant what I said. So they were saying Jimbo didn't give enough. And to me, Jimbo gave me just enough, because Jimbo was the character that was the adult on the show. Follow what I'm saying? It was like the adult. Like, yeah, they're overacting because they're the adult, but obviously they have some kind of acting chops because they're not 12. That's what Jimbo gave me. Now, if you want to talk about somebody that was overacting, that was like somebody on the show, I don't understand, these are not shows. Just follow what I'm saying. Priyanka did better than Lemon acting. Priyanka was hilarious. Lemon to me was doing way too much. Doing way too much. And I get it, it was supposed to be like some overacting, but her overacting was obvious to me. Obvious. I see with the not feeling well, my voice is doing weird stuff and words ain't coming out. Like, I think they coming out today too. Yeah, I thought, I really enjoyed Lemon's look. I don't think that she did bad in the challenge, and I think she probably did. She didn't even do the best in her challenge. Let me quit lying, because Kiara shut that shit down. She deserves to be in the top 2. But because her look was such a literal translation, she just kind of was like, well, it's basic. Well, it's the same dress. But y'all were gagging over Boa, who is 80 pounds heavier. This bitch can at least still wear the same damn dress. Hello? Goodbye. Anyway, she wasn't even the strongest in her group acting-wise. And look-wise, she looked stunning. She did look stunning. But she wasn't even my super highlight on the runway. She was definitely in the top. She was in the top 4 acting. She wasn't in my top 3. She was probably in my top 3 on the runway. I just think that's for storyline. Started from the bottom, now you're here. I guess that is such a Canadian thing after all. As far as these bottoms, I'm sorry. Bitch on Arrival should have arrived her ass in the bottom this week once again. She was ill prepared. She was not in the scene. It was very obvious. Like Jessie said, that she was only concerned about her lines. It was very obvious. I'm going to say something and I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Kind should not have been in the bottom. Kind should not have been on the bottom. She did a serviceable job acting. Forgettable because you actually had a lot of people that did well. You actually had a lot of people in the challenge that did well. There were way more that did well to decent than there were that did bad. And even though I was like, no ma'am, not miss, I am everything, not miss, I accept your apology to Brooklyn Heights, not Miss Kind, had on what she had on, talking about some she was Ursula the Sea Witch. No bitch, you wasn't. But she shouldn't have been in the bottom. Now Tynomi Banks, considering the fact that y'all didn't like her outfit, besides that, I didn't mind the outfit, but her acting was atrocious. It was. It was. She definitely deserved to be in the bottom. But so was Boa's. And like I said, y'all are gagging over a rhinestone bodysuit. Well, I forget Kind. I would really rather forget somebody than for somebody to be horrible in the acting challenge. The wrong people was in the bottom again. But then again, you didn't want Tynomi to send bitch on Arrival home. And this lip sync that I ain't never heard of, because you know, Canadian, ignorant American after all. Kiara even being just safe to me, I even wrote that was BS. If you could read my mind by some randos. I actually not familiar with the song. I didn't see nobody like super turning it, but super doing a bad job. I was watching a lip sync. It was serviceable. It's kind of hard to watch somebody do a lip sync unless somebody is really turning the party if it's a song you don't know. It's just the truth. You're going to be more into it if you know the song. However, soon as Tynomi, like the beat had dropped like towards the end of the song, and Tynomi had dropped the song and started doing this and started hitting the ad-libs, I said, oh, bye Kind. You're one of my kind. Psych. Bye-bye. It was over. It was over. But yeah, at this point, I think that they were just, after Kind pulled that shit again and was like, I'm going to try to do better, but I forgive you. They was like, you know what, bitch? Go home. Go home. And I can't believe you said I was Ursula the Sea Witch, and my reinterpretation is just going to be, I'm going to paint my face purple and wear some purple tights. But at the same time, it's more than what Boa did. I don't know what it is. Boa must be all about that drama because y'all are living for her and she is not eating like that. She is not eating like that. Scarlet Bobo ate like that on the stage. Okay? That was a redemption. Lemon ate. I don't get it, but that's this week's Canada's Drag Race. Oh, some other highlights, since I just kind of jumped to the end here. Some other highlights I want to talk about. I thought that it was Vegan and Sarah instead of Tegan and Sarah. I thought that was funny, but you would have to know who Tegan and Sarah is. Shout outs to Hot Topic, because I wouldn't have knew who Tegan and Sarah was if I never worked on Hot Topic. Like O-H in your gut, because that's my shit. That was funny. The Muffragettes, like the suffragists versus I Smell Burnt Tuck, that was kind of funny. RuPaul, who is Dr. Penfield? If y'all from Canada, I know some of my viewers is from Canada. Is that a play on something? Who is Dr. Penfield? The mini challenge, okay. We'll wrap up with this because I do want to talk about the mini challenge because I thought this was a cute mini challenge. And I thought it was cuter for Canada than anything because of Brooklyn Heights' background as a ballet dancer to do like the ballet and then turn into twerking. And I thought Boa pretending like she was a little girl at dance class was like a brilliant way to do that as somebody that was a little girl that used to go to ballet class. Folks, it's very that. Boa knelt the head, she hit that on the head. It was always some little girl that was just like that. That shouldn't have been in dance class because she really didn't have no talent. That was just dancing all over the place. And parents really didn't pay them no attention because some shit was going on. So they ran their mouth a little bit too much in class instead of trying to learn dance moves and was messing everybody else up because they had no rhythm. Very that, folks. So that cracked me up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. As a reminder, PayPal, Patreon, Cash App is all up there because it seems to me I'm going to be off of work again until they get all this figured out. Ugh. So that, like, subscribe, comment, let's kiki about it. I know that some of y'all are not going to watch this until August because again they're gonna start airing it on Logo on the 27th, which is like mad behind. I don't know, whatever. But thank you so much for watching and keep it crazy. Deuces.
You want to be like me. You want to be like me. You wanna eat lunch with the cool kids, don't you? Told you I used to be you, I know you. Never learned to crew politics in high school. Now you earn a few funny looks in my school. I can show you how to hypnotize minds, fool. Like the chicks in the bunny books for fly dudes. Why you? Cause I see your potential.